How do you serve sparkling wine like champagne to your guests? There has to be a better way to do this, isn't there? Welcome back to Our Glass of Wine. I am Jacqueline, and today we are going to talk about the fundamentals of serving a good bottle of sparkling wine, so that the next time you serve a bottle of champagne, prosecco, or any other sparkling wine to your guests, you will make a great impression. Now, we are judgment-free here, so if you like your sparkling wine out of a red Solo cup, you go for it. But if you are looking for a sommelier-approved way to serve sparkling wine, this is going to be your guide. So first, let's talk about receptacle, the glass. Your basic components are going to be a bowl, a stem, and a base. A crucial part for a good sparkling wine glass will be this stem, because we don't want to be holding the glass by the bowl. This is where heat from our hands will warm it up, so a nice stem is important to give you a good grip on the glass without warming up your chilled sparkling wine. Now for the bowl. There are several different shapes that we see across history and even today. Each one has their why, depending on what style, function, and need you've got going on for your party. First off is going to be the coupe. With a low, wide bowl, this will give us a classic vintage feeling. It certainly lends itself well to sipping with long white gloves on, and it is the go-to choice for champagne towers. It was overtaken in popularity by the flute, which we are going to discuss in a minute, because of the short bowl didn't allow people to see the long line of pearly bubbles, and the wideness allowed for the fizz to disappear more quickly. As well, the wide mouth does not allow for the concentration of aromas that we like to have in optimal tasting conditions. But the coupe is still recommended today by sommeliers for aromatic or sweet sparkling wines, like a Moscato d'Asti, according to ICE, the Association of Italian Sommeliers. All right, now we have another super recognizable shape, the flute. As testified to by the use of flute emojis for sparkling wine, these glasses have for many years been the go-to as the sparkling wine glass. It's elegant, we have a long, slim bowl, and this glass does one thing perfectly. It shows off those beautiful bubbles. The length will give us an opportunity to really capture those bubbles and see them, and the small opening will help us to keep the bubbles in and not let them dissipate as quickly. It has fallen out of favor with the sommelier crowd and is not the best for critical tastings, with this smaller opening being more difficult to navigate in a traditional tasting setting. This is because it's more difficult for us to get our noses and mouths on the glass and really truly smell and get into the aromas and the flavors. Now for a newish advent to the sparkling wine world, we have the tulip. It's a glass designed specifically for sparkling wines and this purpose, because it gives us the best of the flute and the best of a regular wine glass. We have the length and the height of the bowl as a flute to see those bubbles, but we get a slightly more rounded and open bowl, which is great for concentrating the aromas for tasting. As well, in champagne, we noted a lot of the champagne houses like Mercier that we visited served us in this style of glass. And last, but certainly not least, there is just your standard everyday wine glass. It's great for tasting, it's simple, and you've most likely already got it around your house ready to go if you're a wine lover. No need for frills. Sometimes simple is good. There's not so much to say here, except that sparkling wine is sparkling wine, no matter the glass you drink it out of. Now, we've got our glass, so it's going to be time to pour. This is not beer, so we aren't going to be inclining our glasses. It would be very rude to just take your guest's glasses in hand and start inclining them. We are not afraid of foam, so to speak. It's just we don't want it overflowing the glass and running over. So we are going to start carefully and slowly pouring a small stream of liquid into the glass. Slowly and carefully. Now we're going to let the foam naturally die down, and we are going to return for a top up. The key here is a slower, more controlled stream, and it helps by not agitating the wine in the glass. The slower stream will help cause less movement and will also allow you to judge more easily how full the glass is in terms of the foam as well. Besides, this isn't a soda glass or a pint of beer. We aren't going to be filling it all the way up to the top anyway. Really, halfway is already too much. This is a good amount. We need just enough for good tasting after all. And we can always come back for seconds. The bottle's not going anywhere. So thank you for joining me today in this lesson on serving sparkling wine and some of the glasses that you might be confronted with. Let us know in the comments below, what is your preferred sparkling wine receptacle? The flute, the tulip, or a solo cup? If you found this video helpful, please leave a like below and be sure to subscribe for more wine content. I am going to leave you with this video here as a reminder on how to open a bottle of sparkling wine safely. Cheers!